Yeah, me too. It's so good. So Patricia, share what you shared again.
Everything. I did Confessions of a Perfectionist Monday night.
Confections or confessions?
Or convections.
Confections. Did I say confections?
You did. That's candy for the soul.
Yeah.
Candy for a perfectionist.
So anyway, I did that speech, and this work has helped me so much because I felt like I didn't have to. What I did, of course, is that I had the backup, is I had the sheets taped to my sliding door, so I could look up at it, and I had all the first sentences bolded, and I had made note cards and the whole bit, and I had arranged the room perfectly, and I was dressed to the nines, and I could see that they were really loving it. And then when I completely forgot what I was going to say, and I started to laugh, and I started laughing. So it was fun.
They loved it even more.
Yeah, and now my next step.
And then what did you do? How did you say the line?
Yeah, how did you say the line? I'm curious.
Oh, getting it into the Clint Eastwood, my best.
Yeah.
Are you feeling lucky today, punks?
Oh my gosh, I don't know why I feel so good inside right now.
Oh, so do I.
So do I.
What? Thank you for this gift, Patricia. I don't know, I feel amazing. Right?
Hey, Patricia, I'm just curious. Have you ever thought about working with recovering perfectionists as a potential avenue for a revenue resource for yourself?
Are you kidding me? Are you being facetious?
No, I'm being dead serious.
Are you really? You mean there's a group of perfectionists, or there's a study group for people that are what?
Oh my God, are you kidding me?
I mean, is it a 12-step program? What?
It's a Patricia Diorio designed program based upon the true confessions of a perfectionist.
I got it.
Look, and Bobby's hitting at some genius right here too. Is that how many people do you think? So I just saw you on a huge stage in a white flowing outfit, a huge stage, and it's almost perfect.
Yep, almost perfect.
Yeah, and there's tons of people in the audience because they know that if they let go of their perfectionism, what's on the other side for them?
Brilliance.
Yeah, brilliance and enjoying life.
Confidence, courage, compassion, enthusiasm, everything is on the other side of it.
There's so much there in it for the artists that want to be creative again. For think about this. You know, I really looked at it. How many great first book writers never write a second book? I think it's a lot. And one of the things I looked at is
I got a question for you. How many great first book writers never write a book?
a lot more there. And what I get though is that if they get that accolades for their very first book, the feeling is when they're attempting to write the next one, it goes, that's not as good as the first. That's not as good as first. That's not a good, just can't get it going. They can't get in that rhythm.
It's very
It happens all the time, Chris. You're absolutely right. There are, a ton of really successful authors who were never able to write a second book because they didn't feel it would live up to the success of their first book.
Well, listen to this. On Sunday, I gave myself a tarot reading for the quarter, and I asked about my memoir.
Could you do that for us on camera?
Could I? Sure, it would be fun.
Yeah, I'd love to see you playing both parts.
Anyway, I asked about my memoir, which has been slow in coming, and I got some interesting cards that, had me ask some more refined questions. And what I got was, I was not to do the memoir now, I was to do a self-help book.
Oh, isn't that interesting?
I'm
absolutely fascinated. Could you tell me more?
Confessions of a Perfectionist could be the title.
Yeah.
Oh, just because I want to tell you something. Obviously, you haven't. Well, I don't think. Have you looked at your phone? Just out of curiosity, have you looked at your phone this afternoon, Patricia?
Yeah. What? Yeah. No. Yeah. That chart you sent.
Oh no, I'm going to share with you right now. This is so freaking amazing. You want to see how the universe lines things up? I'm going to share with you right now. And you're about to get your mind blown. What did you just say just now? You're going to write a book on what?
I'm going to write a self-help book called Confessions of a Perfectionist, and I'm going to talk about my work of all these
Oh,
years.
isn't that interesting? Now, I might have sent you something just a few minutes ago or before this call started or an hour ago, whenever it was, telling you about a way to get yourself onto a podcast. I'm going to go ahead and just read it to you. We can just do this and this will make this really fun. This just popped for me. What do you think? I don't know if you're interested in developing this kind of work, but I think you could teach it well. If not, it could be a bridge to deeper work. Here's Patricia's podcast plug. Practice and perfection equal progress. I'm sorry. Practice and preparation equal progress, not perfection. This was a tough lesson for me to learn, says Patricia Diorio. Now that I have, I'm working with perfectionists and recovering perfectionists to, and then you get to state your claim there. When it comes to public speaking, perfection is not the goal. We interviewed professional public speaker Patricia Diorio, a self-acclaimed recovering perfectionist, for her take on what we can learn about progress over perfection when it comes to both public speaking and life in general. Obviously, it would require a little more development, but I think it has legs. So I just want you to know the universe is working here. Oh, and if you were wondering, no worries. I came up with a book idea out of the deal. So that was me writing that for you, so you'd have something to work with and get started with. And what came to me for the book idea, which I would gladly gift to you if you were interested, would be Progress, Not Perfection: How to Look in the Mirror, See Who You Are, and Become Even More one day at a time. Now you could drop the one day at a time thing because that's my thing. So you'd have to come up with your own thing. But, and if you like just your title, then that's cool too. But just know the universe is supporting you.
Yeah. Bobby.
Great, Bobby. I love it. Did
That's,
you write one for all of
and
us?
listen, you sent that before I spoke today? When did you send
Well,
that?
I don't know if I sent it before you spoke or gave your speech. Maybe I sent it at the exact same moment that you were speaking your speech out into the universe. I don't remember exactly, but I sent it to Chris first. So, we have a record of it in two places.
You sent it to me. Okay, I'll have to look at my phone. Okay, one more thing I wanted to say.
Yes.
Is that
At 2:44 p.m. is when I sent it to you.
then you picked up my vibe of what was going on in my
There is no way I picked up on your frequency. That is impossible.
That's right. You see how frequency works, you guys? We're creating it. We're co-creating it. So I've got all the digital assets I did with Mira.
Yep.
I've got every one of my modules on video. I've got my lead magnet, 7 Keys to Successful Manifesting, on video. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have it all transcribed, and it'll be the outline for my book.
There you go.
There you go.
I'll be able to, at least have that and develop from there.
Patricia, I just wanted to let you know. That's been just a little bit longer than 90 seconds. I just want to let you know.
A little bit longer, but let's go back to this that I want to focus on. Patricia on stage.
Stop, wait, time out. I'm totally playing here.
No,
I want you to know.
I do want to go back.
I want you to know.
I appreciate your time.
I want to go back to some brilliance of Patricia on Zoom on stage. And that's
that too. Yes, let's do that.
I want to focus on it so we can all feel it and hear it. And I want you to bring it into you. Patricia lost the words and she didn't freak out and say, I need to start over.
Oh, let's celebrate that right now.
And she laughed and still connected with her audience. And actually, that mistake might have made it better. Better because she laughed at herself, which allowed the audience to laugh and connect, and they could feel her lightness and play in it. And then she delivered the line. She still delivered the line. And people were more impressed, I bet, because of that. How you handled that. Because they go, oh my gosh, if that happened to me, I would freak out. And so I want you to take that and feel that in you. Push that, keep that alive in you.
And isn't that some additional energy as well, right? For how you recover or how you handle the perfectionist energy and what you can do with it when you embrace it and say, you know what? I'm perfectly imperfect.
Yeah, let's let Patricia take this in for a minute. Let's give her like 10
Sorry.
seconds of silence where
Okay.
I want you to really feel what you just did. And so you can take this forward whenever you want. And I want the rest of you to feel what you did too, because this can be yours as well. Improv and exercise give you, so just feel that energy come in. You make that mistake, you think it's a mistake, and you laugh at it in a playful way that connects with your audience, and then you move forward. Just feel that.
Happened too.
All right. Yes. Own that.
Guys,
Own that, Patricia. And
I
I'm,
am doing it.
yeah.
And the laughter is the key. The laughter is the key.
Laughter. If any of you watched Vanessa's when she was telling joke videos, why was she so funny? You want to break that down?
Because she laughed with her jokes.
Some of them weren't funny at all, but some of them were so funny because of how she reacted to them. And she gave us permission to laugh.
Yes.
Now, some of them were really funny, but there were many times where I go, oh, that wasn't funny, but I loved her reaction to it, and it brought up the reaction in me.
There's a very, very funny video that's circulating. It's Donald Trump in front of the church holding the Bible. I don't know if any of you saw that, and he's standing there.
That's all you had to say. That's funny all by itself.
Lightning bolt comes down and completely lights him up, and he's like frizzled up. And that all of a sudden there's this raucous laughter, and it makes you laugh. They had one person laughing at that. Anyway, that's what I wanted to share. I'm sorry, I got the sign red. Stop.
No, that wasn't the sign.
Oh,
No. He was holding the Bible upside down. Are you kidding
This
me?
was the Bible upside. Did you see how he was holding it? It was like, how do you hold this thing?
They say, I've never held one of these before. How should I hold this?
How do you hold the Bible?
Is that your Bible? It's a Bible.
It's a Bible.
listen, I'm going to be telling the joke next Wednesday, so send me any joke that you think's good that I can tell and be funny.
So your beingness on stage, your playfulness on stage makes a huge difference. Kind of the agenda for today, and I love your check-in, was beautiful. I would appreciate if you guys, the rest were closer to 90 seconds. But also, so for future check-ins, this is what I'm looking for, is for you to do it kind of in story format is the idea. And so get an idea of what something you wanted, your character that you wanted, or you can make up another character to play you. Something they want, something that's in the way, and take us on that little journey of your check-in. And this is not to be perfect. Remember, the motto here is we be bad so we can be great. Or be willing, if you want to say it more clearly, be willing to be bad so you can be great. But I kind of like, we be bad so we can be great.
What Chris is really trying to say is dare to suck.
That's what I'm trying to say. Dare to suck with this, but also no, be bad and don't worry about being good even.
Right.
Just do it.
Yeah.
And it's like me with accents. I mean, Jackie just goes, oh, just listen to this little difference in the vowel. And I'm going, oh my gosh, I can't hear what you're saying. I can't do it that way. She can hear those little differences where I go, it all sounds the same almost.
Hey, Maynard, did you hear what they're doing today?
I did not.
Did you hear? I'll tell you what, this is record-breaking stuff happening for sure. That there NASCAR, they said no more Confederate flags as of this day forward. None, no more.
Whoa.
They're done. Can you believe that?
I cannot believe that.
Yes,
I
sir.
think that should have happened a long time ago, Bobby.
Well, you know, they tried about 3 years ago. They said we would appreciate it. They said we would appreciate it if y'all wouldn't be bringing them flags anymore. Now, some did, some didn't. Now, here's what happened. I'll bring you up to date. There's this feller. His name's Bubba. Just saying, his name's Bubba. Now, he's a full-time driver with the NASCAR. He got him a brand new car. It's all black. You know what it says on it? It says Black Lives Matter.
Ooh.
And on the hood of that vehicle, there is a hand and another hand. And one hand is black and one hand is white.
I love
And
it.
It's beautiful. I'm telling you, this here country needs to heal, and this is going to start the healing. Because if you can hear them, if you can heal them NASCAR folks, if you can heal the hillbillies, you can heal everybody. I'm just saying.
It, Bobby. I love
Whoa.
Bobby.
I love it. I love it. And yeah. So tell stories that move people like that. You know, that
Heard you, Bobby. I was just getting my coffee.
It's all good.
I'll
It's all
tell
good.
check in like a story if you want.
please,
Okay,
Pamela,
tell us
please
your
do
story,
that.
Pamela.
So there's this girl, right? And she has all kinds of grand ideas, grandiose missions in her life and stuff, but she just can't seem to get her feet on the ground. And the last like couple months, she's been homeschooling her little daughter, and it has been like chasing a herd of wild cats. Well, she finally got it under control and got like a schedule, you know, like a real schedule, and it was working out really great. And this is the last week of school, and she got so up to speed that she had no more work to do. So this girl, like, she doesn't even know what to do because she has been in this whirlwind and she can't seem to get out of it, even though she has no schedule anymore. So she's just plumb frustrated that she can't get traction because she can't get off this whirlwind. She just keeps like, what's next? And the whirlwind has got her like by the nose hairs, really. Nose hairs. It hurts that much, okay? So she tells her friend she's going to do this and she's going to do that before the next call, and guess what? Nothing happens. It's like crickets. She's in that whirlwind so tight, I try pulling on her leg and it's just not bringing her down. So she needs your help because, well, you know, there's a lot going on in her life and it is a whirlwind. So anyway, that's her story, and I thought I'd share that with y'all today.
Wait, Pamela, can I share?
Wait, Bobby, just wait.
Could I share something with you? That was an
Bobby.
inspiring story, and I really appreciate you telling us today because I know some people like that myself. I got this friend. She goes on these Zoom calls and she tells people about all the things she's going to do. And then the next thing you know, we're trying to pull her out of the hurricanes and the tornadoes too. So it happens all over. It's not just out there in California.
Good. I'm glad to hear that, Bobby. That makes me feel maybe a tiny bit better.
Who loved Pamela's check-in? Yeah.
Well, you told us what to do, Chris, to have somebody that people could have pity on or whatever you said. I hope that's my friend. My friend Sandy, she needs some pity.
I didn't say pity. I said empathy. I think there's a little bit of difference, but I thought you created an incredible character, and I want you to use that character more and more and more.
That's a good character.
Yeah, and the lines you used, ooh, some of those lines were so good. They were good because of this. I could feel them. I could feel the rap in the whirlwind, and what was the line? Do this and stuck in this whirlwind of this and that and this and that. You can't get out.
Right, and then I was trying to tug on her leg. You felt that, didn't you?
Yeah, I felt it.
Get her out of there, and she did not budge 1 inch.
I love it. I love it. All right, Bobby, Annie.
You inspired me to just come up with that story right there on the spot about her. I mean, I know her, Ray. I know her pretty well. She's like the closest friend I have. So, but still, I had to make it up, make it a little better for this whole project here we're working on today.
Look at the look on Patricia's face. Look at the look on Patricia's face right now.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And you can hear the power of repetition, repeating certain things, write things over and over. Wow.
Wow. Look at that cute.
I love cats. I love cats.
I need some more water. I'll be right back, folks.
You get
Water.
Your water.
Did you catch that? She said water, not water. Water.
Water.
She understands.
And
people that say water also say put their clothes in the washer. They don't put it in the washer.
Or Bobby, I would like you to check in similar.
Miss Reddick.
go ahead because y'all never let me get a word in edgewise until you check in.
No, actually, Annie, I'd love to hear what you've got to say. When I first came on, you began to tell me about something of swimming, and I'd love to hear the rest of that story.
All right. Well, this is a story of how a woman turned her life around completely in 48 hours. Yesterday morning, she woke up. She woke up Tuesday morning. Oh, I have an appointment with the DMV to get my new real ID before I go to Michigan. And out the door on time, stopped to get gas. Mistake. She pulls out of the gas station and her GPS quits. And she has no idea how to get to the DMV. No idea. Panic attack behind the wheel, complete panic attack. Oh my God, they're gonna cancel me and I'm not gonna get my license in time. Complete panic attack. Stopped to ask directions from a guy getting into his truck. And he goes, I said, where's Moulton Parkway? He said, you're on it. Just get on it, take a right, and you'll see it. You'll see the DMV on your left. So I get there, everything is fine. I get the thing, get the appointment. Get home, I have no phone. Penny drops, that's why I had no GPS. My daughter had not been able to pay the bill. That got fixed, but by the time all that was done, all that energy I expended being upset wore me out for the rest of the day. I woke up this morning to a wonderful angelic reading with Sandra Winter. I had scheduled it. I thought maybe I'd made a mistake because it's our usual day to go swimming, but I knew that my higher self knew a week ago that I was going to need this more than my swim with my brother. And Archangel Michael gifted me with the golden ukulele. That's what happened on my angelic call today. And I feel totally blessed and blissed that I am doing what I need to do and my angels are with me. And that is my check-in.
Thank you for that, Annie.
That was great, Annie. I loved it.
I loved it. And
Getting back behind the wheel.
I like your start. Your start created a mystery right off the bat.
And she kept it going. She kept it going too.
Yeah. Remember though, your audience in the camera.
Yeah.
Feel us. Let us feel the emotions. Bring the characters. Bring action. Remember
Where's the camera again? Where is it?
It's that little light right there that Pamela's covering up. And Pamela wrote something down. She took a note when you said something. Do you know what you said that she wrote down?
I wrote down 3 things.
3. Say them,
Nice.
Pamela. Just read them out.
Well, the opening line, this is a story of how a woman turned her life around in 48 hours. Loved it.
Write it down, Annie. Write it down. This is a story of how a woman turned her life around in 48 hours. There, you have your audience hooked.
The next thing I wrote down was panic attack behind the wheel. I love that. And then the third one was just blessed and blissed. Just
That's the one I saw. Blessed and blissed.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. I just came up with that on the spur of the moment myself.
I figured you did.
That.
I figured you did. So you got to notice your audience, what they're buying into, what they like. And so you can use it again and again and again. All right.
You.
Yes.
I'd like to comment. I liked how you shifted this kind of heavy, negative energy. You can feel it and your expressions, how that shifted. And by the end of your story, that was lifted up. That was lifted up with your trust in being guided and being protected and all the things that that help you stay aligned.
Well, let's use a hammer to hit down and on that point that Patricia just made again. Let's hit down on that positive energy. Whack. And to make a point, and I want to make a point of, you can stay so long in depressive energy. The longer you stay, the more you're going to have people wanting to check out. And if you finish on the high note, woo, up high, like Patricia talked about, that will bring you more of your audience back and feeling good at the end.
Yeah.
I wanted to know about the golden ukulele, that card that you were gifted. So that other people might also want to know about that.
And here's something, some things are good to leave a mystery versus if you share, here's all I have. Thank you. Now buy my program. You're giving me, I got all I need. I don't need your program. Now, keep a little mystery in marketing. Bobby and I talked about this earlier. Value and mystery in marketing. Add value, bring mystery. We got them all writing it down. See, if you're looking at your screen, you can see what your audience likes. You can see when they pick up a pen and go, oh, maybe I'm going to keep that.
Or maybe they just say, I'll just ask the host for the copy of the video later and see if I could get it, you know.
Yeah, I think I might do
that, but I don't think you're going to watch it.
You got to find time. I
got to pick some time out of thin air. Now, Bobby, I want you to check in right now.
I'll tell you about the ukulele some other time, Pamela.
Yeah.
I got me a friend. His name's Maynard Jones. Maynard's writing his first book. Maynard's a pretty smart fella. He really is. Well, he is, because he understands people in a way I never did. I thought I understood people, but until such time as I started talking to this fella, I didn't realize how much I didn't know. You don't know what you don't know. You know what I mean? Do you understand what I'm saying?
I got you. Yeah.
So anyway, I'm talking to Maynard, and I started asking some questions, because I thought, well, if he's writing a book, he's probably smart. So I figured if he was writing a book, he'd probably be able to tell me what he did. I said, so Maynard, what is it that you do? You know what Maynard told me? It was so good, I had to write it down. I got this friend, Pamela. Whew, she writes everything down. I took lessons from her. I started writing stuff down. Let me tell you what, I am getting smarter every day. Every day I am getting a little bit better. So here, let me share this with you, because this is what he said. This was good stuff, I'm telling you. It's deep. I said, so Maynard, what is it you actually do? You know what he said to me? He said, what I do is I inspire people to courageously create the life of their dreams with passion, purpose, and intention, so they can make the difference they choose, live the way they want, and serve the audience they love. And I'll tell you what, when those words came out of his mouth, the hair on my arms kind of stood up that funny way, and on the back of your neck, you know how it does? And I thought, man, this here fella, he knows what he's doing. And then he said, you want to know some more? And I looked at him, I said, well, yes, as a matter of fact, I would like to know some more. Am I going to have to pay for this? He said, oh, no. He said, this is free. He said, I'm going to share this with you for free. He said, I believe in simple. I got this friend, Chris. You know what he told me? He said, the easier you make it, the better people will follow it. I said, no way, stop it. And he said, oh, yeah, absolutely. So, okay. I said, good. He said, so here's how easy we got with this. We broke it down to ABCs. Everybody understands ABCs, right? I'm saying, right? Okay, so here's A. His ABC approach is designed to first wake the client up to their infinite potential by focusing on, are you ready for this? Awareness.
Are you ready for this?
Should I continue? Or I'm having a lot of fun.
Let's stop with that right now. Okay. I love, are you ready for this? So, yeah, you should watch this again. Actually, maybe we should all watch it again. That is a character you should own and keep. I love that you created the character to talk about you, which you created you as a character too, like Pamela did. There's a power in that, in the way you.
There is.
Yeah.
I was learning from Pamela as I watched her do it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
I never practiced that. I did it like on the spot after she did it. I was like, whoa, hey, I like this.
Kristen's
You guys were so good at it that it's a little bit intimidating. And just so I see Patricia shaking her head to it. So honestly, you two did it so well. It is a little intimidating. But I don't want us, and I don't want you again going, oh, I did it so well that time. I can't do as good the second time. Mess up the second time or third time. Just feel free to get down in the mud, slop around with it, find it, lose it, get it back, play with it. And yes, Bobby's got his hand up. We'll go to Bobby again.
I want to share something with you about embodying the character. Now, let me just explain something to you here because this is important.
You explain it.
I had me a friend when I was in the military, the Army. His name was Wayne Mudd. Now, he and Maynard could have been best friends, I think. I'm not sure, but I think so. So when I'm playing Maynard, I'm thinking in my mind, what would Wayne say? What would Wayne Mudd say if he was trying to tell somebody a story? So I'm kind of trying to embody the wherewithal and the expressionisms and all that stuff of what Wayne would say if he was telling a story. Because I really don't know Maynard very well, but I knew Wayne really well. So if I think about what Wayne would say, the next thing I know, my mouth is moving the same way Wayne's mouth would move. And the stuff that comes out is coming out the same way it'd come out of the mouth of Wayne if Wayne was telling the story. You understand what I'm saying? Are you feeling me here?
I got you. I got you.
You want me to say that again?
So I want, when someone does great at something, don't let it stop you from attempting it.
Oh my God.
And playing it.
I never knew I was going to have this much fun today coming here. I got to tell you that. I never for a moment anticipated how much fun I could have with stuff that could otherwise be like really serious and not fun.
And my design of this is, so this was personally for me. So the creation of Speaker Skills Plus, the idea was I got to find something that is fun for me to do. I don't want something that I have to fight to push myself every day to go do it, because that's not going to work in making me great. I got to find something that's fun, playful, enlivening. Yes, Sir Bobby.
You just made me think of something else just now.
Of course I did. Yes.
You remember that thing I sent you yesterday?
One of the many things you sent me yesterday.
No, that thing from Steve, not the Steve that wrote the book, The End of Fear Itself, but the other Steve, the Steve from here in Las Vegas. That's Steve.
The questioning, the multiple.
Yeah,
I remember that thing.
He does that for a living. That's how he makes his living. Is that crazy or what?
Hey, why didn't you share that with us?
Because
he asked me to share it with him, and y'all didn't.
All right, let's get rolling on this a little bit. I'll do a little bit of check-in.
That's a really good idea. Why didn't you do that?
I've been busy since Monday. Been doing a few things. I interviewed like four people. Four. That's four minus the thumb. Four. A Jed Page. I can't even remember him. It seems like over a lifetime. I'm going, holy smokes. Lei Wang. I remember her because she went to the top of Mount Everest. And the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 peaks. So she did the magical 7. And you know what else? She was so bored with doing that, she decided to ski to the North Pole. And then you know what she did after that? She skied to the South Pole.
You're making this up.
This woman is 5'2" and was in the IT department, and she just decided to go to the end of her life like she was 80. She said, I'm 80. I'm going to look back at you. Would I be happy with this decision if you made it? And so I want you guys all to go to 80. Spin yourself, go to 80 yourself, 80-year-old self, and say, hey, what should I do now? What choice do you want me to do? And it was a brilliant little thought. It's a great thought experiment. It's wonderful. And I'll give you another wonderful thing that one of these lovely ladies shared with me. She said, what lights you up? What are the people that inspire you? Who inspires you? Pick 3, living, dead, and invite them. When you go on stage, you invite them with you.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes, imagine if Martin Luther King was standing right behind you and he was hand on your shoulder in a gentle, not mean manner, not squeezing like, ooh, what he's saying. It's like, yeah, I got you, Chris. I got you. You know, he's got you. Imagine that. Imagine what that do. Now, today I interviewed a young woman. Well, she's probably late 30s. For 30, let me get it, 33 years, 3 and 3, she was silent. She didn't speak up. But she found a reason to speak up, and she did. She went past that anxiety. And found another woman, and she said the best revenge is to get past the need for revenge. Best revenge is to get past the need for your revenge. So what I'm saying here is this.
Nice job, brother.
But what I'm saying here is this, is that connect with other people, play with this stuff, practice with this stuff. And I've shared it with you, and Jackie's not here, but Patricia's done it too. I want Patricia, all of you, to consider interviewing 5, 10, 20 people that are in the area that you want, and interview them on Zoom. Just hit record on Zoom, interview them, learn from them, and share their lessons as well. And you will look like an expert. Yes. Great job, Annie. You look like an expert in that field. Annie, yes.
Yes, what I would like, as far as my skills on this show, you've gone right into it, is that I would like to have some group input on what would be some good questions for me to ask when I'm interviewing people on a story of gratitude, and having them share it with me, a story of gratitude or forgiveness.
Annie.
Yes.
I'm gonna connect you to my friend Chris. You know why?
Why?
Because he's a gratitude guy. That's what he does.
Oh, you're not talking about this Chris, a different Chris?
Yeah, this is a different Chris. I know more than one Chris.
Well, so do I.
And this is Chris N. The other Chris is Chris P. His last name is Palmore.
Great. I love your connection. Thank you.
He runs gratitudespace.com. He's a pretty cool fella.
Wow.
That sounds cool. Gratitude space. And what I say too is this: the people I posted in the five challenge for podcast by Steve Olsha. I posted Breaking Up with Fear YouTube channel. I posted it in there and said new channel, but welcome to have guests. You can even see it in there still. And all these interviews that I just talked about, all 4 of those came from that post.
Wow, Chris, that's amazing. Okay.
So I've got this positive feed. Breaking Up with Fear is going to be huge, big.
Question. Was the stories that you told us, was those real stories, or did you make them up?
Those were real stories.
Chris, that's amazing. Like my cohort Pamela just said, that's amazing.
Cohort. So Bobby, what is the name of this person's, the gratitude space?
Annie, I'm going to send you a text message that has all of the details, and I'm going to personally introduce you to my friend.
Thank you.
I want let's help Annie right now, though.
Yes, right now. I agree.
Let's give her at least 5 good questions to ask on gratitude.
How do you define the word gratitude?
So that's a great start. I mean, everyone's going to see it potentially differently. So Pamela's going right to the point of it. How do you define gratitude? And
Okay.
Patricia's ready to add one.
How does your body feel when you're experiencing gratitude? What are the feelings that go along with the thought?
Another, I would have to say, brilliant question, because how does your body feel when you get them into? Sometimes is this gratitude thing working for me? I don't think it's working because they're not in touch with their body. They're all numbed out and whatever. Is this gratitude thing really working for me? But if they, oh my gosh, I feel lighter when I'm in gratitude. I feel like some of these fears are gone. I feel more appreciative of life. I tend to smile more, laugh more, more productive. So incredible question. Bobby, what's your question?
Who is someone you're grateful for but haven't told?
Beautiful.
Oh, Bobby's going to make him cry. And actually, what Bobby's question again, another brilliant question. And I would love for Pamela, our note taker, to send all these questions to everyone.
Oh, I'm writing other stuff down right now.
Okay.
I think Annie's writing.
We'll get Annie to send this around. And so
I'm writing this. Yeah.
yeah.
You know, I mean, people always want to know what gratitude practice you use yourself personally and how it has impacted your life when things have really taken a downturn.
So to what Pamela said, do you have a gratitude practice? And
Yeah.
can you share your practice with my listeners?
That's a great.
Go ahead, Patricia.
I said that's a great question. You know, when I would add about gratitude, it's in vogue, trendy for everyone to be feeling gratitude now. And I'm not saying that people aren't feeling gratitude, but there's a difference between thinking about the fact that you're grateful for something and actually embodying it, which is what you were talking about, Chris. And this kind of an embellishment of my question, which is why it's so important. Because when we can actually feel it in our body, then we're really feeling gratitude and our vibrational frequency is lifted way up.
Yeah, so let's go that. So find a way to put in there the embodiment of gratitude. And just before you, Bobby, I'll add this. So what is your gratitude practice? And why is it important to you? Or what's your gratitude practice? Would you ever give up your gratitude practice? And hitting what Patricia said, yes, it may seem like what would you say, a trending, but it's timeless.
Yes, that's right.
Timeless. Yes, Bobby.
So along the lines of what Patricia just shared, and this is really, 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 really important, saying, I'm grateful for the water that comes out of the tap when I turn the handle that I bathe and brush my teeth with is different than the experience you have when you're actually able to go and do that. And you're consciously aware that you're doing it. The same way when we have water that we can take and tip up, right, and drink. And think about how that feels and know that somewhere, not that far away probably, there's somebody that if they wanted to have a drink of water like this may have had to walk 20 miles because that's how far away the nearest water source is. And the reason I bring it up and the reason I say it the way I do is, what are the things that we take for granted that we can really focus on being grateful for, not just with our words, but in our hearts? Because that's the real difference. That's what gratitude's really all about. Gratitude's about the experience of gratitude, and that's what Patricia was describing. She was describing the experience of gratitude versus just expressing it.
And so what Bobby just shared, did you notice the tone of his voice? And did those statements seem to be coming from his head or his heart?
Heart.
His heart. He wasn't even making light of it with the accent.
Right. So there's times to dump the accent.
There's times if you really want to make a point, use the accent a lot and then get serious, you know.
Yeah.
So you're hitting on something.
Wow, that's a beautiful point that you just laid out there, Patricia.
Yeah, you're hitting on something big, Patricia, is the contrast creates captivation. And if you were
Ooh.
always
You might
speaking,
want to write that down, Pamela. Contrast creates captivation.
Excuse me for interrupting you, Chris, but I have a thought here. When you are doing that voice and you're talking about no, and then you come up and it is awareness, or however you would say that, I would say do it the way you say it, and then I would say, or no, do it, and then when you get to the word, say in your regular voice, awareness. So you go from the yokel to awareness. Then you might move into a little, from Bobby's head, or Bobby's a little talk about awareness, and then go back to be and go back to, I don't know if you could play with the characters like that, but
you can. And here's the thing again: test it. Some will work, some won't work as well. Some spots work. It's timing and testing. And if Bobby and Pamela, someone should make this recording available, because someone.
You're the only one that has the ability to do that. You're the magician.
Bueller.
Someone should make this recording available so you can see it, and then even using the things that Bobby said too in a regular tone of voice. He had a fun way of, this might be something that's important that you want to write down.
Yeah,
He was like saying it to the other character.
I couldn't write it fast enough, so
I know.
yes, very grateful for a link to this particular recording, since it has.
I'll see if I can talk to him. He is sometimes feeling a little overwhelmed and indifferent, but I actually will do this. I will share a screen and upload a video, potentially, if those people want to see how you upload a video to the U and the tube.
Oh, yes.
So, yeah.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
And we
yeah.
all
Wait
Oh,
a minute.
some
So-
forgiveness questions,
What's that?
or can we also do some forgiveness questions?
Oh, you are asking a lot now, Annie. You have got gratitude. Are you grateful for what you've already been delivered?
Yes, I am, but will you forgive me if I get at least 2 good questions? 'Cause
I will forgive you, and I think we'll give you at least one each after Pamela gets to go, because I love her anxious hand. I will go to Pamela and her anxious hand.
I had one more question about gratitude, and it was kind of based on what Patricia said, is that sometimes it's trendy, and I know that it was trendy for me. I had this 3 things I'd write down, but I never really was fully immersed in the gratitude feeling in my body until a certain time happened. Okay, so is there any specific thing that motivated your practice where it really took root in your very being?
Holy shit. Pamela asked another brilliant question.
That's deep. You went deep.
Bobby. I got to
That
follow.
people will want to know. They will want to know the answer to that one.
I think it's important to go deep.
but I didn't get the wording, so I definitely need the recording. Thank you.
Pamela will give you that one again.
Pamela wrote it down. She's got it on paper. She can
I
share
didn't
it.
write that one down. That one just came out, and I don't even.
Oh my goodness! What the heck is going on here?
So what Pamela said, if Pamela doesn't want to say it herself.
Was there a specific event that motivated?
Yeah, I was going to do you. Pamela's, was there a specific event that caused you to deepen your gratitude practice?
Woo. You know, I got to tell you what. I think I really like this Forrest Gump character of yours, Chris.
You need to do it. You need to do it for sure.
I want to say something about Monday's call.
You speak.
Monday's call, I don't know if you noticed it. I noticed it with all of us, and it definitely was flat as a pancake. I didn't know if it was the moon or what, but.
I didn't feel like it was flat as a pancake, but it didn't have the bubbly energy.
I wonder who was missing on that call Monday.
Jackie was missing. Jackie was
definitely missing. I don't know if anyone else was missing from that call.
And Bobby was missing.
But Jackie was definitely missing.
My point that I want to bring up is all of us, we almost are like the recipe. And if we leave out one of the ingredients, it has the potential of that pancake not rising up like it normally does.
Wow. Oh my goodness. Now that was deep right there.
See?
Now, my favorite part of that is you use the word
Pancake.
pancake.
Now, if you'd have said, I'm just going to add, if you'd have said, and a little bit of bacon, then we'd have had
Yeah,
something to
so-
talk about.
Just as long as I didn't say,
I want to hit on it for me. That call, we've had better, but I saw a lot of good in it. And I think here's what happens again. When you get so good at what you do, when you get so good at what you do, you can go, oh my gosh, I can be better.
Oh my God.
I can be better.
This is a really good character for you, brother. I didn't get to experience this character yet. This is a really good character for you.
All right.
but I just wanted to know, did you all experience it too? What I experienced?
I experienced it was a beautiful crepe created. It was flatter than a pancake, but it's still enjoyable, tasty,
Of
and a
course.
little bit nutritious.
It helped me set the stage for my talk that night because it helped me give the perspective of standing as opposed to sitting. So it was beneficial to me. It's always beneficial to me, even when it's flat.
Oh yeah, no, it was.
Well,
Just
it was flat. I just felt like it wasn't as like amazingly exciting as some of them are.
well, that's what I like. That's why I'm here. I like that amazing, exciting stuff.
So
I want you to top. You delivered this. The time before you were this, you delivered that. I want this now. I want this. You give me this, or it's flat.
Doug,
I like walking away from these calls being super excited.
Where's Patricia going? What is she saying?
She's saying something. I can't hear.
something I want you to hear it. I think that this group is moving collectively to a higher frequency.
Oh, yes.
I think as we shed our belief systems, imprints, programs, whatever it is that keeps us not from being ourselves, it keeps us from being ourselves, that we come into better alignment, not only with ourselves, but with each other, because then we can really support each other. I work with you guys, I do the word work every day. I'm wording this group.
Oh,
And
thank
it means that
you're
I'm
amazing.
lifting it up. And I can really see, and I'm not saying this because I'm doing it, I'm just saying that we're working together to make a huge difference on the planet in the work that we do, expressing our unique skills and talents. And we're supporting each other in that process without competition, without comparison, without needing approval. I think all these things are on the table now for us to let go of. So that's what I think is going on. And today, I feel a higher vibe than I have ever felt today. And I don't know how you guys feel about that. But
Well, I love that you said that, Patricia. I love that you said that, and I think there's true truth to that.
True. Yes.
True. And because
True.
yeah, true. It's
No. True truth.
true truth. Yeah.
There. Now you got it.
Thank you.
that's redundant, Bubby.
Now, sometimes being redundant is only saying it once. Write that down, Pamela.
Wow. Sometimes being redundant is only saying it once.
Proposal.
I love Yogi Berra, and I think he says some brilliant, simple things.
Yep.
Okay, I got it written down.
Go.
I got to write it for myself too. Sometimes being redundant
Is only saying
Only
it
saying
once.
it once.
is only saying it once.
Is that Yogi Berra?
No, that's a Chris Nielsen original.
I don't believe you.
I got a lot of CN.
It is.
Annie can't help herself. She's got a wild hand. Let's go to the wild hand, Annie.
May I make a proposal?
You may. Whoa, let me check.
May I propose?
Wait, I'm checking.
The judges said yes.
Yes, you may make a proposal.
May I propose that each of you submit a question or two, if the spirit moves you, to me via email or text rather than me take up any more valuable
No, I
collective-
love your question, but we're going to give it to you in the moment because the see what's happened from your questions already?
Yeah.
Patricia's got all deep on us. Pamela's gotten deep. And Bobby hit his heart, and he opened it up, and he spread that love all over the world because of you and your question.
Love
Patricia,
me.
but I want to go back to what Patricia said because you jumped over it. I think she's right. We are raising our vibration. There isn't, now the interesting thing, if someone was competing for the same, you know, I'm a school speaker and I speak on the exact same thing, there might be some competition that's kind of bubbled up in people. But because this group is so diverse and so connected, we can support each other, and someone shares a brilliance and we can make a version of that brilliance our own with a little work. Patricia's right. I believe the vibration is going up. I feel like Patricia's example, what you shared when we first started, she jumped on the stage and demonstrated sometimes better than what some professional speakers can do. They get thrown off by little mistakes. She adjusted and made the mistake a gift. And we can all do that. I've had feelings of doing that. I've done it. I'm not as, I was freaked out because of that critical inner voice. It's now a champion in there for me. So people keep playing with that. Let's go. Let's give Annie on her forgiveness. Let's go to Annie's forgiveness. Yes, Bobby.
So Annie, I just want you to understand when it comes to forgiveness, you might have come to the right place. Only because I have a little bit of experience in this area.
Oh, yeah. Wait, just hold on there a second. Who feels Bobby right now? He went right there and he's feeling it and he's delivering it. And Annie has her hand on her chest. Yeah, thank you, Bobby. Please continue.
So I don't know if you know Annie or not, because I don't think you were around with the original group, but I think you might have picked up on the fact that I've expressed on more than one occasion that I wasn't raised by my parents. I was raised by my grandparents. And it wasn't the intention of my parents to abandon me. That wasn't the plan. That's not how the script was written, but it is how the script played out. And because it played out the way it did, it left me as a child feeling unloved and unlovable. And for me to be able to get over that, I had to figure out a way to forgive my father for not coming back for me, particularly after he came back from Vietnam and was able to start another family and then be able to successfully be a father to those two girls that he had with his new wife, but somehow couldn't find a way to be able to include me in that life. So what I did, Annie, is I wrote a letter to my father, because for years he carried around the baggage of not stepping up to the plate and doing what I just described to you, which would have been to come and get me and to embrace the fact that he had a son and to invite me into, his life with his new family to be a part of that. And I don't know why he didn't have the capacity to do that, or at least that's what I felt and that's what I thought. But here's what the truth was, Annie. What I could have never known was that my father was placed into a very uncomfortable position by his own father. He actually did tell my grandpa dad that he wanted me back. And here's what my grandpa dad said to him, and I want you guys to think about this for a minute, and what you might have done if you were in his position. My grandpa dad said to my father, if you take Bobby away from your mother, it will kill her. Now, with all that said, he still had to wrestle with the feelings he had inside as to whether or not to honor what his father asked of him, or to honor what was inside of him to be able to have his son back and to raise his son as he'd always hoped to be able to do once he came back from Vietnam and had his life back together. So to release my father of all that he had held on to for such a long time, and to release myself from the feelings that I had about being abandoned, I wrote him a letter of forgiveness. Who do you think benefited most from that letter, Annie? My father or me? Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for ourselves.
Beautiful story.
Beautiful
Yeah.
story. And yeah, you should listen to, someone should give you this recording. And
Yes.
so I want to give you a quick question before Patricia jumps in. What was the hardest, what was the hardest thing for you to forgive? If you want to hit deep with them. And if they're not willing, and say it's okay if you don't want to share that. I want to hear something that was trouble, and you don't need to share it on my show right now, but I want you to share forgiveness that took effort to forgive. And then if you want to get them to cry again, like Bobby did earlier, ask them, is there someone you need to forgive still?
Yeah.
Mm.
That's really powerful and very, very deep and absolutely true, Chris. And the person that will benefit, I guarantee you this, I can guarantee you from my own personal experience, the person that will benefit, Annie, will be the person that came onto your podcast as the guest. And you will liberate them to be able to become the person they're capable of becoming by asking one simple question.
So Patricia, you had something.
Yeah, I just want to say that I had a similar experience where writing a letter turned a situation right around for me. And it was, I moved to California. My son stopped paying child support, which really put a tremendous financial strain. And I was very frustrated and tried to fight the whole thing. And then I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. I sat down, I wrote him a letter, and I forgave him. And I said, I forgive you. I don't want this between us. And you have to be there for your son, however you feel it's appropriate. Anyway, after that, he started paying child support. So forgive, and it's a letter that is really written from the heart, not just from the head.
I would like to offer something to this group if you guys are interested. And
Before
one
you
of
do
these.
that, Bobby, I want to just put
Sorry.
an emphasis.
I'm sorry.
I want you to do it, but I want to just put an emphasis on what Patricia just shared for herself. I want you to write that down right now, Patricia, and put that in your story bank.
Okay.
That's a story that is good for you to do, and you might be able to relate it to perfectionism too. Just put it out there, Bobby.
So what I was going to say was, if anybody's interested, I would be happy to share what I wrote in that letter with you. And what I was going to ask is if Patricia would be willing to do the same.
Oh, yeah, but I don't have the letter.
Oh, you don't have it anymore? Okay.
No, the letter was written in 1981.
Oh, okay. Well, I understand.
Now, I would love to see your letter, Bobby, too, just to even know you better. Appreciate the story you shared. And I want you to notice this, too. Notice Bobby's telling of it. There was a moment or two where I was getting a little uncomfortable, but not much, because he was comfortable. He was more comfortable in the telling of it. And just know when you go down low and they can say, you're still, I have no anger issues, God damn it. Fuck no. If you go into it and you can't fully get out of it, they see you struggling with it still deeply on stage. That can be difficult for your audience because they're empathetic, and some of them are going to go, I can't handle this uncomfortableness on stage. I need to get out of the room, because their mirror neurons are firing and they're uncomfortable too. So Bobby shared that in a way where he was comfortable sharing something heavy. And now, unless you had a point to leaving him heavy, you'd want him again to bring him out of that heaviness.
Yeah. and I can actually, the rest of that story is that, and I can't tell you how much different, I'll just very quick, short. I can't tell you how much different my relationship has been with my father ever since. As a
And your
matter
mother,
of
and your mother too, no?
Yeah. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, last year when I went to Florida and met my father at my sister's house,
Wow.
and we had kind of this incredible reunification. Um, the look on his face when we went and visited the Veterans Museum, to have me be there, him knowing that I'd served in the military as well, and that I was interested in trying to help him find the unit that he'd been with in Vietnam, was an just absolutely incredible, amazing experience. He was so engaged with me and my sister in the moment, and it was
Wonderful.
it was beautiful.
Yes, it
Yes.
is.
Story bank.
I love you all, but I've got to go. I have another Zoom call in
You
10.
cannot go, Patricia. You
No,
cannot
Patricia. No,
leave
Patricia.
us.
Hey, it's
No.
the Association of Women in Communication. I got to go.
Oh, you go, girl. You go.
Well,
Okay.
Patricia, will you do me a favor?
Yes, darling.
Will
Anything you
just, will you just be the best you possible? Could you try to be perfectly imperfect for me when you go over and speak to them people?
perfectly imperfect, correct.
Okay.
Pointing, pointing.
Bye, darlings.
See you.
Patricia.
So let's give Annie 2 more forgiveness questions and then move on to Pamela and then Bobby.
Annie, I want you to know that, just real quick, Chris, this is just as good as having another question. You can leverage a powerful figure that has shared an incredibly amazing forgiveness experience to get your audience to open up to you. So Wayne Dyer spoke about forgiving his father who abandoned him as a child, right?
Mhm.
And you can leverage that experience that he shared to ask your audience if they have an experience, something like that they'd like to share with you.
Mhm.
So in other words, that way you're not asking a specific question, but you're leveraging the experience of someone else who's really well known and who was really vulnerable, and then asking them if they have something similar that they might want to share.
Oh, okay. Yeah, thank you. That's excellent.
That
Pamela,
way
do
it leaves
you
an
have another
open
forgiveness
door.
question?
It leaves an open door for them to
Yeah.
actually really be able to share about something that they otherwise might not share about,
Mm-hmm.
or that you wouldn't discover if you asked a closed-ended question.
Right.
And then another question I would ask is there someone in your life that it really took you a long time to forgive?
Yeah.
And what happened when you did finally forgive them?
That's going to provide a breakthrough experience, Pamela. So that's a really good question. Because if someone waited that long and they finally did, and then something, well, and the breakthrough could go either way. I mean, and that's certainly possible, but there will be some kind of a breakthrough experience one way or the other for that individual that did that. No doubt.
Those are great questions. Let's go to Pamela. Those questions, actually, Annie, the ones you have are enough to have phenomenal interviews.
Thank you. Yes. I feel really good about all of this. Thank you so much, everybody.
You're welcome.
Pamela, could I ask you a question?
You sure can.
If you could wave a magic wand, honestly, if you could wave a magic wand and all of the things that are spinning around for you stopped spinning and fell to the table, what do you think that might look like?
My first thought is, I don't have a clue. It would just be like this cluttered pile of distractions that I would need to sift through.
So if you close your eyes for just 1 second or 1 minute, could you see at least one thing on the table that is a little bit clearer now than when it was spinning in a circle?
Well, it's the 2 things that I intend to do, is the podcast, adding 2 more podcasts, and then the other thing is finishing that outline for the workshop.
Can you tell me more about that outline?
Yeah, it's the it was first pump up your online dating during COVID, during quarantine, and now it's like people are going back to work and everything, so maybe they don't see the reason for that. So it's kind of going to be more like how dating online powered up my ability to find love.
Oh,
So even if COVID's over, eventually.
I would look at too, create your original one, and you might do that thing off of it, because if the experts are right on this, and with the lack of social distancing now, there's going to be still reason to date online.
So Pamela, I just want to echo what Chris just said, and this is really, really important to understand. So guess what Steve wrote about today, Chris?
What did Steve write about?
He wrote about his experience down to the Las Vegas Strip on Sunday, and how he still doesn't think it's probably a very good idea to be hanging out with other people who are not going to be as socially conscious and responsible about socially distancing as you are.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I do think that it's still appropriate, because I think that even after the worry of this is gone, the benefit of spending a lot more time getting to know someone before you get really super serious, meeting them and sexual, the better off you're going to be, because you're not going to end up with the wrong person. I mean, two women bond very quickly. They will bond instantly. And then if it's the wrong
What
person,
was your line again that I love so much? It was what, the U-Hauls show up fast.
second date is when the U-Haul shows up.
Yeah.
It's so true. It's so true.
So Pamela, what do I need to do to connect you to Maria Romano so that you guys can brainstorm together?
Well, like I said, that
I want to move you past where you are right now. What do we need to do to move you past where you are right now?
well, it's so
And the where you are right now, just so we're clear, is the where you are that you described to me in your Southern voice, and you described to all of us in your Southern voice earlier when you were checking in with us. How do I move?
she's got Marie Romano's name down here somewhere. I'll find it.
I know, but would it help if I made a personal introduction to her?
Yeah.
And say,
That might help, and she will find it, but I would go with the personal introduction.
okay, so here's what we're going to do, Pamela, because we're going to move you. We're going to move you out of this space you're in, sweetheart. You understand what I'm saying?
All right.
My friend Wayne, when he told me when somebody's struggling, here's something's going on. What happens, they might have a crawdad who's got hold of their foot. They got hold of your little toe. And when they grab hold of your leg, it hurts a little bit. And it makes it so you can't think straight. So if someone could ground you for a minute and get you to stop thinking about that crawdad got his claw on your toe, then you could think straight. So
what about instead if you just pull the crawdad off?
Well,
so here's a couple things about this. Like it went through my head was, so is she using her daughter as an excuse?
Yes, she is.
My sweet hell. What did you just say? Is she doing what?
Is she using her daughter as an excuse? Because here's the reality. The girlfriend's coming down this weekend and we'll be able to see each other, and I don't know how that's all going to work out. But finally we get to see each other after a whole month of online dating. And then Tuesday, Kevin's going to come back for 3 days. So now that school's over, I'm going to have her Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. At least that's what I've asked her dad, so that I don't have her 5 days every week, and then I can have a life, and I can also have days to get my business going, where I'm talking about intense concentration, because if I don't have that, it's so easy for me to get distracted.
Is it all right if I dive right in, actually, and
go right ahead.
Hit this? I love the Southern myth, and take that crawdad off your toe. So you can think. Do you guys remember the one where the woman has a nail in her head and goes, "I don't know what's wrong with me."
Well, I had this headache for so long.
How about the
dog? Pull that nail out.
How about the dog that's laying on the porch and he's whining? He's whining and whining and whining. And somebody says, "What's wrong with your dog?" And he said, "Well, he's laying on a nail." And they said, "Well, why in the hell doesn't he get off the nail?" He said, "Well, that would take a little bit of effort."
I love it. Put that in your story bank. Anyone who feels it would be useful. Dog laying on a nail. I've heard that before. And So
We got
Pamela,
Julie,
you,
Bobby,
you, you knew the answer to the question when you asked it. Yes, you're using
I
it
did.
as an excuse.
I know. And I just,
Hear this, no making yourself bad for that.
Nope. Do not.
Do not.
Give yourself credit. Give yourself credit for the awareness. Pamela, you just resolved your own issue, like right here in real time, on screen.
Right here, real time. Now, hold on a second now. So, yes, but I'm gonna make you feel bad for feeling bad. No, I'm not.
I already feel bad for feeling bad, but that's all right.
No, don't feel bad for even feeling bad. Don't create the bad spiral. Yeah, we got all
Bad
time.
spiral. Now that's worth writing down. The bad
Well,
spiral.
you know what my friend Steve, the one who wrote the book that you read about fear, wrote about that downward spiral thing? He called that the whirlpool of piss.
Oh my God! Well, I was living in that whirlpool.
No, so Pamela, you're right. You asked the question and you knew the answer when you asked the question. But we all make excuses and we all have different priorities in the timing. And now is the only time we have. What time is love?
Now,
Ow.
Right now.
Now.
And what did when I said what time what did Annie say to that? She said,
I said that all the time, didn't I?
all the time. I love that addition. What time is love? Annie says all the time.
all the time.
All the time. So Pamela, yeah, it's an excuse, and you're gonna have it. You've already seen what's coming. You've looked into the future, and you got a bunch of other excuses heading your way, don't you? So find the time every day. You know, if you have to wake up a little bit earlier or stay up a little bit later, know what works for you. Just make a little bit of progress with it and do what Annie did, taking the bull by the horns at the beginning, jump in at the beginning of the call and ask us to help you create content right away. You create content on this call so you can leave with something done. Like, Annie, are you feeling pretty good right now?
I feel marvelous.
Yeah, because you got some of your content created right here.
Yeah.
I did go back to that call where both Chris, you and Bobby were marketing geniuses for my program. I went back to that call, but I haven't quite found that place. And then my computer shut down, and when it came back up, all that stuff was gone. But I'll find it again. And then I just need to start at minute 14 or something.
I don't know how much time we have, but I have a question.
Okay. Ask away.
Originally, I intended to share my ABCs with y'all because they're simple, but I only kind of started to talk about the A. Now, if we don't
I'd
have
love to hear the rest. I'd love.
Well, before you get into this, Bobby,
wait a minute.
Wait
a minute now. No, I'm not going to try to say it.
Fast?
I'm not going to try to say it right now.
Is it fast?
Now, wait, this is important now. Before I was going to get into my ABCs, I wanted to see how much time everybody had, and I wanted to hear from Vanessa because she showed up.
Look, I wanted to say that. Let's give Vanessa a little howdy.
Howdy, Vanessa.
Howdy, Vanessa. And let's have her say what's on her mind for a second because she is way too quiet for a Vanessa.
Well,
there wasn't a lot of other room for voices there, y'all.
I could tell there was a lot of hogging the time. So we want to hear your voice.
Vanessa, could you tell us what's on your mind?
My hat right now.
It's on your head, not your mind. It's a little bit different.
What's the difference, Bobby?
Well, let me just tell you since you asked.
No, whoa, she did not ask.
What's the difference? She said, I heard her say, what's the difference?
All right, I want you now answering in very short segments.
I think that Chris and Bobby need to have their own show.
Look at me. Your head holds, it's a container. It holds your mind. Your mind is inside your head. You don't put your hat on your mind. You put it on your head.
All right. Vanessa, we would like to hear your voice and what's going on in your life.
So I've hired a writer to...
What?
Yeah, I've actually hired 2 writers. One is to do I know, I'm really excited. She's doing 4 posts a month for me on the topic of racism, cults, religion, the whole gamut. So that's going to be an email that goes out once a week finally. And then those, I'm going to take those and have another writer help me who has a more punchy sense of humor, and help me break those in and create, you know, humorous bits from each of those. And then that same writer, the punchy one, she is going to help me rewrite the blooped description. And then each podcast, she's going to write the description for the podcast, because they need to be more humorous and punchy. I've been writing this stuff more seriously because it's so close to me and I get emotional about it, and I'm not finding humor in it. So I'm having her do the humor part.
I thought you knew somebody who was funny.
I do know someone who's very, very funny.
I thought you did.
I thought so too.
She's a close friend of yours.
Yes, he is.
No,
That's
she-
allegedly.
He also seems
Allegedly,
he
anyway.
also seems very busy.
I heard that too. I heard that too.
I heard that. Yeah.
But I will go through my Rolodex and set up an appointment with my
No,
funny friend.
I love what you've done, Vanessa, with that in terms of someone to punch it up and grab humor to it. I think we're craving humor now, craving moments to laugh.
And I decided that I, you know, I knew this all along, but again, I have a lot of blocks for moving forward, and I've got to figure out how to bypass it. So I got the EIDL loan, and I'm going to use that money to pay people to help me because I need it.
Massive action.
Oh, absolutely.
Congrats.
Thank you
Action.
guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so the next thing I need is I want someone to design a website or a constant contact newsletter for me that's bold and simple and kind of what I don't really have a vision. I want a designer to do it. That and my personal branding is going to be the next thing that's evaluated. What my website needs to look like, I'll probably hire one of these friends, or you, my funny friend, have someone else help me figure out how to brand myself at this point and just tidy everything up. I want one website.
Marie Kondo does that actually.
Yes, she does. She does. I need a branding Marie Kondo. So Improv is going to stay. I've decided I'll keep doing my virtual improv because we had so much fun last night. They were like, let's help. My friend Tammy was like, let me help you figure out how to grow this.
I
So
love that.
Yeah, thank you. I have a lot of.
No, I mean, I love the fact that because we were having so much fun earlier. I'm just trying to make a point here. And Chris said this earlier about how he wanted Speaker Skills Plus to be, right? So what I love is so it's validation for this group is what I'm really trying to leverage the point here. Your friend, because she had so much fun, wanted to help you because she doesn't want to see it go away.
Right.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's really powerful. That's a really valuable lesson for all of us. You know, because if you think about the power of that for just a minute, something that otherwise might have gone away, might have gone to the wayside, might have just fallen off the table completely, is still alive because you had someone so engaged with it that they were willing to invest in it to make sure it didn't go away.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. And to me, it seems like abundant. Like I've been really working on this whole pandemic thing. I've done a lot of like money challenges, like these 10-day, 21-day challenges. And I feel like all of that is part of being in the flow, and it feels really good. So before, where I would have not maybe taken her up on it, I have complete confidence in the program and growing it. So, and improv is the way that I've overcome oppression. Humor is the way that I've overcome internal and external oppression. So I like keeping it. I just wasn't sure where it fit, and I need help growing this. You guys will all get a kick out of, you'll understand this. I'm very much, I'm social, but I'm very much a loner also. And I always think I can just do things on my own, and I get it. You guys understand. And I've never been able to kind of be out about that. I'm extroverted when I'm outside, and I'm freaking introverted when I'm in my head and in my world, in my life.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And I didn't know that. And lately I'm like, I'm so good at just trying to hold on to things and they're mine. And having this loan obviously is a gift, you know, meaning like it's a really good time. The pandemic has been financially good to me.
Wait a minute. wait a minute. This is really important to understand. It's not a gift. You made it a gift. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I do. I
In other
do.
words, you've embraced it as a gift and you're allowing it to be what it can be from a place of abundance,
Yeah.
like
Thank
Chris
you.
talked about, right?
Yeah.
So it's, by itself, it's not just a gift, right?
Yeah. Well, I like that because, yes, I really have shifted my perspective. And so this has just been a really cool experience for me. And I'm using the experience to grow. And I feel like I have a little bucket of cash now that I doesn't pull from Oliver's doctor bills today or, the things like that. It's just, I get to use this money for my business.
Yeah.
And
So I'm
I'm
growing in the
super
moment.
happy.
I'm growing in the moment with you as you share it, right? So I want you to think about adding this to your story bank, because in the moment, as you shared this just now, I got to grow with you in the moment because of the way you shared the story of looking at it from a place of abundance instead of a place of lack. In other words, I got this money, I'm going to hold on to it real tight, right? Because I need to make sure it gets me through, versus, well, this money came in and I saw it as a gift. And I mean, do you feel the difference in the energy there? So imagine sharing that on stage with your audience about how it is the way we look at things that allows for the experience to unfold.
Yes.
I want to pause things there for a second and go, how does this relate to you, Pamela?
Well, I have a hard time letting go of things as well, like letting other people do stuff. And it's more the technicality of finding them and then instructing them. It's almost easier sometimes to just do it myself. So I really admire you for that. And I think if we can all do that, that's definitely a good thing. This
Yeah.
woman that I'm seeing, she is all about wanting to help me. Like, she is probably my biggest fan club. And it feels weird to have somebody versus the previous one I had who was just always pissing on my parade.
and
And
let
that's
her
the
help
thing
you.
with help. You've got to feel like it's actually progressing you, and people have a buy-in in your vision. And that's, I called my friend this morning. She's a ghostwriter. I didn't even know that till like 2 days ago. I know she's a writer, and I saw her title. I go, "You're a ghostwriter? I need you." She goes, "Okay, we'll do it over. I'll help you and just give me lunch." And I was like, "What?" I mean, like, literally, this is going to launch this for me. Like, this writing piece has been the missing piece for me. And I keep stalling out because every time I go to write my story, I get super mental. And
Time out right there.
And then I also want to hear from Annie, because I know you raised your
I
hand,
know,
Annie.
but really critical. And the reason I said time out is because I want to capture the essence of what you just said just now. This was the missing piece that was stopping me. Did you catch that? So sometimes we get so caught up in the swirl and the whirl of it that we don't take the time to kind of work through it, kind of figure out what is that missing piece that's stopping us, right? You clearly identified that this was something that you needed to let go of. So you knew that, but then you acted on it.
Mm-hmm.
I want to hit
Well,
on
and
just
here,
a couple things.
Chris, sorry, yes, go ahead. Thank you, Bobby.
Yeah, so Vanessa's grabbing a team, and I'm lucky. And here, interesting thing. So I had a whole family stay with me in the last recession, 2008. The whole family moved into my house, 4 people. The husband and wife were separating at the time when they moved in too. But she felt like I gave her so much, so she's doing work for me for free right now.
Nice.
And I'm paying another one a little bit, and I've got a team working on LinkedIn. You got to find a way, if you want to go big, to find some teamwork for yourself. And Pamela, you've put yourself in good financial shape. You've done that. So one of the challenges I want to give you, if you want to take it on, is I want you to start looking for people to help you accomplish what you need to do. And part of that comes from writing down, what do I love to do personally? What do I not want to do anymore?
And what's getting in your way too, because I don't know about you, Pamela, but there's some things that I straight up have resistance to. And one of the things that I've learned is that if I can't break through my resistance in this moment, how do I bypass it? I'm not talking about emotional bypass, but like the resistance to getting my work done. How do I bypass it? And the only way I know how to bypass my writing stuff right now is to hire people who I can talk to. It's still my voice, it's still my information, but they're writing it. And now all I have to do is step in. And I can do the posts. Even those are going to be challenging for me on certain days. So I'm just saying, like, find a way to bypass your resistance. And don't worry about smashing it and hitting it on and getting through it. I think sometimes that causes more resistance. Just how can we help you go around it? And then, like, ultimately that resistance does go away. But it's just, I find like a gentle way around it. You know, the river's gonna flow. You're gonna be the most amazing lesbian coach ever, love lesbian coach ever. And there's a boulder in the way. How do we create a river that goes around it rather than trying to smash the boulder into sand?
Yes, and my addition to that is this, is that, for me now doing a podcast or YouTube channel show I've made it easy because it's become simple for me to do. I record on Zoom just like I'm recording here. As soon as this over, it renders, and it takes this, because this is so long, it will take a while. And it renders, then it comes up. I finally rename it. My problem in the past is I did not rename them, so I have no freaking idea what it was about when I go back to. Finally, now I rename it. I've implanted that part of the system, and then I open up YouTube, hit upload button, then minimize the screen so it comes to half, and then pull the thing into that, and it starts the upload.
It was so easy. I'm so glad you showed me how to do that.
Quick.
So I need to create a channel, because you have your main name in there. I want to create a channel and rename it and all that. That's my kind of technical issue, how to do that.
I can help you, Pamela.
Okay.
May I ask something?
Yes.
You said loan.
Yes.
I need to know any way that I can get. How did you get this loan? You said a loan, and it's freed you to do all this.
It's not free. I will have to pay the loan back, but it's the disaster relief loan. So when the pandemic hit, I literally applied on March 13th. I applied for the EIDL because I heard it was coming out, and I applied for unemployment. So like I was like one of the first people that applied for it, and it took 3 months or however long it's been, but I got approved the other day. I let it go because I wasn't counting on it. Then they sent me the amount. I was like, I'm taking it all. And I signed the document yesterday. So it'll be in my account at some point.
I did it too right away.
Name,
And I don't even
those
know.
initials? I'm sorry. It's just all going by too fast for me. I'm sorry.
I know, Annie. What did you say?
What? You said EIDL like so fast. I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, I'll type it in the chat. Don't worry.
She didn't understand what the EIDL was, I think.
Yeah, so the EIDL is a disaster relief loan that is backed by the Small Business Association. And it is for whether you have employees or not. What's nice about this loan is that you don't have to have employees. So like the PPP loan was for folks who had employees. And then $1,000 of this loan will be a grant because I am the only employee. So I will have to pay back, $1,000 less.
Okay.
And what I'd say again, let's go back to this, is that look for people to support you in various ways.
Yes.
Like this call, we helped Annie come up with her questions. And come into this call potentially with questions you have that we can help you as a group. And Bobby would like to add to this as well. Yes. Well, let me add this first before we get rolling on this. So Bobby's already done this for me. I'm taking Speaker Skills Plus Public. Jennifer we talked this morning for about an hour, all the questions she asked me. So please write a testimonial if you feel like it, and then say the tangible benefits in your life and business, how it's impacted you, will help me help her with the marketing of me and Speaker Skills Plus. And if you have a worry about it, I envision you guys. The crazy vision I have is 1,000 people wanting to do Speaker Skills Plus. Really, the semi-crazy is 100. And so 100 people there. So you guys are in breakout rooms helping them do these particular exercises.
Love it.
And I always see a version where as long as you guys want it, where we're working together to grow ourselves, that's provided for you. And there's then the version that's commercialized, where as many people as I can get in there using as many breakout rooms as possible.
And I'd like to offer something else too around what Chris just shared. After you take care of Chris and you give your testimonial to him, then here's what I would ask as well. And I'm willing to do the same thing for you. And this is really important. So even though we haven't necessarily been working in a formal relationship where we're sharing or exchanging money for what we're doing for each other, we're still doing it on a regular basis. So what I'd like to say is I would offer a testimonial for you, Pamela, as an example, because you inspire me, right? So I would offer a testimonial about how Pamela helped inspire me and help me get clear about what my message was and how I could help other people. And because of the work that Pamela and I did together, I was able to sit down and actually write the ABCs of my my offer to my clients to explain to them how I was going to help them become the best version of themselves possible, right? So and that's how I would kind of just share with you how I would word that. So after you've taken care of Chris, because he's provided this platform for us, then I would say at the same time, while you're in that mode and you've done his, while you're still in the mode of writing that, I would ask you to write one for me as well.
I'd like that's a nice idea to write each other testimonials.
Whatever it is that I've done for you, if it was grounding you, if it was showing you how to better, express yourself fully, whatever it is, whatever that thing is, however I've touched you in your heart, whatever it is that I've done, then I would ask you to write that, because that's going to be the most impactful for me to share as a testimonial for my audience, right? Because then it's something I actually really did.
Yeah.
I don't want you to create something. I want you to come right from your heart. Like, so if it was a story that I shared with you today, for example, and it touched you or whatever the case, whatever it's been, I would just ask you to think about that.
Quick question, Chris, who's Jennifer? Like you mentioned Jennifer in the beginning, and I don't know.
She's a friend of mine. She's the person who moved into my house for a period of time, Jennifer.
Oh, okay. So we don't have to interact with her. She's just helping you. You just mentioned her name.
Yeah, I just mentioned it as someone that's helping me accomplish that. Kind of a piggyback of what Vanessa said. And instead of slamming through something you're resistant to, find someone who does it really well. And just even knowing that I have someone doing a little bit of stuff for me has motivated me to do more stuff for myself. I mean, it took me till 2 nights ago or 3 nights ago to finally go to figure out Twitter. And I go, I have Chris A. Nielsen on Twitter. And I go, why haven't you not gotten Breaking Up with Fear on Twitter? And so I went there, how do you do a second Twitter name? And it showed it was pretty easy. I followed, I hit the buttons. I created a second Twitter with Breaking Up with Fear. It's Breaking Up with Fear, I think, is the name on it. And at Breaking Fear or Breaking Up Fear, I think, is at Breaking Fear, something like that is the at part of it.
You can just share it with us in the chat.
Okay.
Either now or later, send a text or whatever to the group.
So,
I mean,
Chris, I know that you asked us for this via text, and then there's a million texts that came after it. So you want a testimonial, a lot like what Bobby did.
Yeah.
You want to know the tangible benefits that this has delivered to us in our life and our business life and our personal life.
Yeah, and I've got another, so since we're asking another thing, so here's what she wants me to fill out too. What are the real problems or pain points that help solve with the training? The more specific, the better.
Yeah.
So anything that pops up in that way, and then the desired, what is desired by your audience? The outcomes,
results,
feelings, results, achievements, confidence, others, benefits, journey endpoints that you'll help create through the training.
So crazy, Chris. We are in the exact same place. This is exactly what OB asked me to come up with. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it's so aligned.
So did Jennifer send this to us or something?
No, it's in a Google document, but you know what? Here's what I'm going to do. Yeah, I'm going to do this. Two things.
I was a little confused.
I'm going to do this. I'm going to put it in the chat here, but don't worry about that. So there's it in the chat, but I'm also going to create a Google document and with that and invite you all to it. So
I
you
don't know
can
what
actually
it's
add
gonna
in as you go.
So you just want to change these to say what problems did this training help, and we'll write down the 10 problems that we've had or whatever. Or is that how? Because this is for
No,
you.
anything you can fill in helps me.
Okay,
You know, if,
yeah.
if you can only fill in one or two, that's fine. But if
That's
you
fine.
see something that fits, fill it in, because it'll be used for targeted Facebook marketing, and then maybe some targeted Google search term marketing. And
Now I know why you wanted me to finish writing what I started to write earlier, because you knew it was going to fill this in. You're a sneaky bastard.
I am a sneaky bastard. That's totally true.
Annie,
That is absolutely, totally true.
Annie had a question earlier. I don't think we got to hear it or got it answered. She was going to ask a question or share something or something. We didn't get to hear it.
Well, whatever it was is gone. It's okay. I
All
don't
right.
remember. Thank you.
Annie, you might need to type stuff in the chat in the future so we can
Yeah.
make sure.
Thing with me and chat, I don't know how to find it half the time when I'm on a Zoom call.
I didn't even realize you could save it until just now, and I don't.
You guys talk amongst yourself because I got to run, get a charger so this thing doesn't die.
Okay. So,
So in all curiosity, really, do you guys really want to know what the ABCs are, or do you not care? Because if you don't care, I'm not going to waste your
I
time.
do care, but I need to use the restroom really quickly.
Okay. So I'll just hold down the conversation. Go. And yeah, go. I think it's important. I think it's important.
So what are they?
I'm sorry?
You're doing ABCs of what?
What my ABC approach is to my clients.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I wanted
Cool.
to come up with a really simple way to be able to describe what I actually do, how I do, or what happens for them along the lines. Like, you know, Chris was talking about what are the pain points, or what are you helping with them, or, you know, how are you helping them get unstuck? So,
Mhm.
and I wanted to design what my methodology is without giving it all away, right? So it's
Mhm.
about my approach versus what all the details of what I actually do.
Okay.
Pamela, are you still there?
She went to the restroom.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the hardest part of telling people what we do.
Yep.
If is just making it, you know, in a succinct way rather than this long exaggerated thing, which I've always had a hard time with. So
Yeah, and what I would say,
that's awesome.
put it out. Bobby put some beautiful things out, and Bobby and I talked about this too later. And I encourage this for all of us. Find the simplest emotional feeling where the first level words, as we've talked about it before, look for first level words in your marketing. And also see if you can bring it simple and graceful, and what can you take out? Because the most beautiful thing written in a big stack, what does that do to you? It just shuts you down. It's that resistance.
Yeah.
So Chris,
Well, and even in today's Twitter, you know, mindset where everything is short, we just have to learn how to be more succinct. That's why I'm hiring writers, because it just, I need to learn how to do that. And I'm not going to not do what I'm doing because I don't know how to do that yet. So it's like, hire people, fine. Get some help.
Chris and I were talking about sound bites. I said, so what you're asking me to do is you want me to create different sound bites, like a 15-second, 30-second, 45-second, 1-minute sound bites. Maybe he said maybe even a 5-second sound bite, right? So like a 5, it's a little more, probably just a tiny more than 5 seconds is, and I have a bigger one. So, but the shorter one is Bobby inspires and empowers his clients to courageously create the life they choose to live, right? That's a short, that's a 5-second sound bite or whatever, you know. The bigger part of that is I inspire people to courageously create the life of their dreams with passion, purpose, and intention, so they can make the difference they choose, live the way they want, and serve the audience they love, right? So that's a little bit bigger piece of that other piece that, you know, we were talking about. And then the way that I do that is the ABCs that I was started to share earlier. It's part of it, at least anyway, is the ABCs. So, or that's my approach. And like I said, I'm more than happy to send this to everybody rather than, you know, because we're almost 2 hours into this now, would rather than go over it unless you actually want to hear it. If you want to hear it, then I'd love to share it. And I'll just do it quickly.
Who would like to hear Bobby's ABCs?
Okay. So
Good.
I want to kind of just real quickly set the tone. for that. So with the artful use of inquiry and inspiration, Bobby helps his clients go deep, get specific, and get serious about creating the life they believe or know is possible, but have yet to experience. So that kind of sets the tone, right? His ABC approach is designed to first wake the client up to their infinite potential by focusing on awareness. Awareness is created through a proprietary self-inquiry process designed to specifically awaken the inner hidden potential of the individual. Bobby believes everyone has infinite potential. Once the client becomes aware, once the client becomes aware of and acknowledges their potential, the focus shifts to developing brilliance in their chosen area of endeavor. Bobby believes, like Einstein reportedly did, that everybody is a genius, but if you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it will live its whole life believing it's stupid. Brilliance is all about focus and becoming exceptional at one or two things. And Bobby helps his clients focus, which means to follow one course until successful. Confidence is created, that's the C. Confidence is created one day at a time through a commitment to consistency and growth. Confidence comes from clarity and keeping our commitments to ourselves and what we believe is important and aligns with our values and beliefs about what is right and just and possible. When we are properly aligned, supported, and grounded with goals that both stretch and excite us, we go from unsure to unstoppable.
It is so
Love it.
good. So good and so juicy.
And I forgot, what was B?
Brilliance.
Oh,
I want you to do this exercise for me now. So write down, I want you to turn over your notes, but only have awareness, brilliance, and consistency, is it? Or what was the last, the C?
confident.
Awareness, brilliance, and confidence.
So I want you to put awareness, brilliance, and confidence in front of you. None of the others you get to look at.
Okay.
And you only get to say 1 to 2 sentences on each.
Okay.
And say them, go into your heart, and say whatever you say is fine. So just say that and let me see what happens. Awareness.
No, I got you. So Bobby uses an ABC approach with his clients because he believes in keeping things simple. Awareness opens the door. Brilliance is developed by focusing on just one or two things. We all have something. As a matter of fact, each of us was born with a gift. It was in our heart the moment we were born. The moment our heart started beating, our gift began to grow. And what we need to do is we need to nurture and we need to develop, we need to find that gift. A gift is just a gift until such time as we give it a little bit of something extra. Once we acknowledge that we have that gift, then we can embrace our inner brilliance. And then after we do that, we become confident one day at a time by honoring the commitments we make to ourselves.
And the little bit I want you to add is get to unstoppable.
Well,
one more line. Give me 2 more lines to get to unstoppable.
Sure. So here's what happens. When we first begin something, we're unsure. We don't have an idea how we're going to do whatever it is that we want to do because we don't know what we don't know. But what happens along the way, slowly, over time, one day at a time, we shift. A transformation takes place. And what happens is we go from being over here where we were at unsure, and we end up over here at unstoppable.
I love the unsure to unstoppable.
Here, when did people tune into Bobby just for a second that really got you? What was the really got you? When did you look up Annie and smile?
I don't know. I think, I don't know.
The heartbeat.
Of when I looked up and smiled.
So there's language. So watch this, Bobby. Someone needs to get you this recording.
I wonder who that's going to be.
I don't know who's going to do it.
Bastard, if you find that rat bastard, let me know.
Well, I'll let you know. Your heartbeat. So you got emotional in this, and I want you to use simple, aware. Become aware of whatever your energy, the inner you that can become unstoppable. So you find your brilliance, that you are, but don't know you are because you've been that fish that's made to walk on land. C, you get that confidence because you are aware, you know you're brilliant, and you're confident, consistently taking one step at a time until you are unstoppable. Yeah. And so you can say your words are brilliant and beautiful, and as Vanessa said, juicy. And for the wordsmith, they'll just eat those words alive. And you will use those words for the wordsmith in your marketing, but you will also use the simpler version to get to the point so fast. And in what you said, simple, if you offer a simple solution in those beautiful words, they'll go, is it really that simple? But if you do boom, 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 they'll go, holy shit, he's got it.
And I totally believe you and agree with you 100%. This is for my marketing page. What I gave you just a second ago is how I connect with people, right?
And I want you to bring it out, and I want you to even maybe consider, 2 marketing parts of it, like a shorter version. Give them the version. It's like, have you seen some web pages do this? I love it. Here's the short version.
Yes.
Click here for the bigger version.
Yes, I like that.
That's my intention, is to do that, because there's nothing I hate worse than having to go through a whole bunch of content to get what I'm trying to get to. People
know
what it's called? It's called the sideways sales letter is what it's called. I mean, so what you're describing is the sideways sales letter. So, and that's the way I intend to do my marketing page, is like, as you just described. If you want to know more, click here, and then it opens up another page.
And you might have it so it's grayed out so people can start to see the beautiful language, but do the simple language that hits us emotionally.
Right.
We can go through so fast that we go, holy shit, he makes it simple. I'm in.
It's interesting. The illusory prize that we're all searching for, right, is success. And success is a natural result of commitment.
I love that.
So write that down too, if you haven't. Success is a natural result of commitment. Drop the first part of it, the illusory prize. That's when you're winning Scrabble again, Bobby.
I know. I don't know what to tell you.
No,
Bobby,
your language is beautiful, and I want you to do a dual, like it came to me now, is the dual marketing of this, the simple language, but so the word lovers can see your language underneath it, and they can click and go, ooh, they open it and they go, oh, because some people are going to read that language and go, oh my gosh, he knows me. He speaks my language, yet he makes it simple to and from the heart. If you can give that dual, and you don't have to, the rest of us mere mortals with writing do not have to give that type of prose.
Have I told you ever that I love you, brother?
I think you have, and I think I've told you too. I love you too, brother.
Yeah. You're awesome.
Brothers, a sister wants to ask a question. The illusory prize is success. Success is the result of doing.
No, so success is a result of commitment.
Commitment.
It's the natural result of commitment.
Okay. I think also the illusory prize is being seen, according to Steve Olsher.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, when I started writing, guys, it's just crazy the way that this works for me. I mean, I don't know how to explain it other than when I make myself available, the download just comes. Mother Earth or God or whatever you want to call it, Annie, just shows up for me. And then I just have to stay focused and let the pen run. And when I do, the stuff that shows up on the page, I don't even know where it came from because I certainly didn't write it.
Yeah.
And just Bobby triggered me, kind of downloads I get when people trigger me, is Annie, embrace Mother Earth.
Yes, absolutely, Annie. Every time you connect, every time I feel connected to you is when I feel like you're, like when you talked about,
Swimming. The swimming.
I'm sorry?
The swimming. When
Yeah, exactly. When you talked about the swimming, I mean, I just felt so connected to you in that moment. And then even when you're describing what happened with your trip to the DMV, right? First, you were using the GPS, and then I was just like, well, I just asked somebody for directions. He's like, yeah, you're already on the road. All you got to do is go down the road, and it's on the left. You know.
And how is that life too? I love that. You're already on the road. Just go down, turn to the right, and then to the left.
Yeah.
You guys are already on the road, and as Bobby hit it, you committed to this call. You committed to the other calls. You guys show up. And
Yeah.
Pamela, going back to you for a second, during all this, have you made the majority of these calls?
Yes.
Yes, you have.
So
Of course,
despite
I love them.
despite all that stuff going on and all your reasons not to be here, you were here. And I've been benefited by you. I personally benefited from your presence, your wisdom, your heart, your playfulness, your German accent, your English accent, your Southern accent. I've really benefited from all those things and more.
Absolutely. If you had not done what you did today in the sharing of your story about yourself through the voice of that other person, I could have never, I'm telling you, I could have never done the Maynard story the way that I did. It would have happened. So you set the tone for that by example.
Pamela,
And that
you are
happened because you were here, because you showed up. Even though you have all this stuff going on and stuff swimming around and spinning around, and I tried to help you let it fall to the table today, even though all of that, right?
Yeah.
You were here.
Pamela, so you are showing up in a way and you are delivering. I've seen so many moments of brilliance from you on these calls.
Transformative.
Transformative. You're growing. And like Bobby said, and I'm glad he said it, is Bobby delivered a phenomenal piece on Maynard after you. I mean, I was going, they seemed like things, both of you did, seemed like things like an actor or actress practiced something for a month to deliver this monologue. It felt like that. It was fun, funny, connecting, valuable. Maynard was sharing tips. Now, he said, you might want to write this down. Going, shit, maybe here's a good thing I might want to write it down. You might want to write this down. There was brilliance that came out of it. And you've grown because of it. So no matter what you do, you're more ready to do it. And
Yeah.
And I don't want you to use things as an excuse for you, because you have an incredible heart, an incredible mind that can touch people's lives and save people's lives. So let me know what support and what this group can support you in that. And you're bringing your excuse up. We want to help you support that.
I'm going to go on record. I'm going to go on record on this call to say, Pamela, if you're feeling stuck, if you're spinning, if you need to refocus, you have my number. All you have to do is send me a text. We could spend
talk to Maynard.
Literally, we could spend 5 minutes together, and I will get you right back on track. Like literally 5 minutes.
Thank you, Bobby.
Just say, I need to be grounded. Can you ground me? And that's all you have to tell me, and I'll know, and then I'll help you get right back on track, and then you just go about your business.
I need to talk to Maynard.
Maynard available?
Yeah. Is Maynard there?
Hey, Chris,
yeah.
let's hear a little bit of Forrest to close us out.
Talk to Maynard. Maynard, please help me.
I need Forrest. Bring Forrest back.
I don't know what piece of chocolate to pick because I don't know. But one lady shared with me in her interview that chocolate can be a vehicle to mindfulness. It's like when you wrap the chocolate, let's say you have a piece of Hershey, you know, that kiss, the Hershey Kiss, that's it. The kiss in your hand, and you feel it, how it feels on your hand. And then you unwrap it and you hear the crinkling, you know, the crinkling of the unwrapping. And then you sniff it and you smell that chocolate going up your nose, the nose factory. And smells good. And you be with that scent. You be with that scent. And then you don't just chew it like you normally do. You don't just pop it down and go, ah, ah, ah. You don't do that. You,
That was funny.
oh, you get back and Bobby. You don't do that. I said you don't. That's what you don't do. You pop it in your mouth.
Slowly melt on my tongue.
Yes, Pamela
Yeah.
said it. You let it
Yeah.
melt on your tongue, and you feel what the chocolate feels like on your tongue.
And then you get it on your teeth, and you
On your
just go.
teeth.
Mm.
And then you
Yeah.
open your mouth and you do a video where it looks like you don't have one tooth.
You got a chocolate tooth that looks like
Got chocolate tooth. So look, you get to play with people. You get to
Oh my
play with
God, I had so much fun today. Here's the deal. At some point in time, somebody's going to see one of these things about Speaker Skills Plus, and they're going to be on the fence, and they're going to go, oh my God, what is this Speaker Skills Plus thing anyway? And you're going to show them a clip of all of us having fun like this, and they're going to go, oh my God, I have to be a part of that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for saying that, Bobby.
Okay. I gotta
Vanessa's-
go, you guys.
Vanessa's got to go.
We all got to go.
We all
So-
got to go.
Gotta go right now.
I'm starving.
hey.
Oliver's starving, and I have calls to make. Sorry.
Yo,
Love you
We all got to go.
I will
Don't
see some
apologize.
of you.
Stop
at
apologizing,
9.
girl. Stop your apologizing. You don't got to apologize for nothing.
Sorry, not sorry.
You could be just like the president. Don't apologize. There's nothing special about apologizing.
Apologizing. I
Some
like
of you, I will see at 9 a.m. I hope it as much
I
as
can't.
possible.
I'm sorry.
You, Bobby, you be there.
I gave you all I had today because I knew I couldn't be here tomorrow.
You
So I
got
knew there would
more.
be a remnant that I would leave some residual with you. So tomorrow you'd know I was with you in spirit, even though I couldn't be on the screen.
All
You know what I'm
right.
I'm hoping to be there. I was going to go to Costco tomorrow during senior hours.
saying?
'Cause I really need to go to Costco, but maybe I could go Friday morning. But
Yeah.
I
Can you pick me up some toasted coconut cookies at Costco?
Yes.
coconut cookies?
I want
Girl
you
Scouts still
to go
there?
to Costco on Friday. I
I
want
know.
you with us.
Get a bag of kisses while you're there so we can get the crinkle.
I really like the dark chocolate kisses, and I don't think they have those.
Or up level your game and get those lint. What is that? That lint, not the lint from the
Lindor.
lint
Door.
or
So there's lint too. There's lint chocolate.
Oh, I'm thinking the Lindor, the blue ones, you know, they come in
Either-
circles. They got
or the G or the G Deli stuff. The G Deli stuff.
Oh, Ghirardelli. That's that
Ghirardelli.
same.
G-Deli.
That's it.
G
That's it.
Deli.
Oh, never mind, Pamela. I found them on Amazon.
California.
Oh, okay, cool.
Ghirardelli.
G Deli.
California chocolate.
All right,
North-
guys. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and maybe I won't.
I
Okay.
hope you are there
Bye.
because I
Bye,
love
everyone.
you, Pamela.
Okay. Love you guys.
Love
Thank you.
Bye.
Yo,
Love you all.
Bye.
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 Does that recording?
What was that?
Send us that recording.